let's talk about the week in movies, television stuffs. I mean, really, we didn't even got to go over what we've been playing because neither one of us have really been playing anything.
I started Yakuza 5. I'm about almost done with that. I'm going to jump into 6 afterwards.
I mean, I'm still waiting for...
But you got Scorn comes out tomorrow for Xbox. Because I think it comes out early for us. And then Call of Duty campaign has early access if you bought the pre-orders.
Nah. The horrible commercials as usual.
I haven't seen them yet.
The only thing I'm looking for, because Midnight Suns pushed out of 2022, right?
Yeah, it's either December or the
February. That was the only thing I was looking forward to.
I think February.
Now,
God of War is in a month.
I haven't played the first one. Need for Speed Unbound is December 2nd. That and Skull and Bones probably the only two that I'm going to actually try and play.
I got Battlefield 2042 on sale from Amazon for $10. So when that comes in, I'll probably test. I heard they fixed a lot of stuff in it, and now it's actually very fun.
I've been streaming. Streamed Destiny the last 2 nights. Was streaming Star Wars before that. So then when Need for Speed comes out, we'll be doing that. And probably beginning of next week, I'll start putting out actual videos. Get off my ass and do proper reviews for things. And because the internet's full of just people who make money and get clicks off of hate and everything. And I have to put out some good. Because, like Wong said, we are at peak TV.
Yes.
And even if you say something horrible, it's still better than... I don't know. I still, like She-Hulk said in the show, is this what you want? What are the people who hate She-Hulk want? They can't tell us what they want.
Video game wise, they ain't really... Give it about another 2 weeks. That's when it's going to ramp up. Because you got 7-8 games all coming out within the span of 2 or 3 weeks of each other. You got Call of Duty comes out, Scorn, Gotham Knights, God of War comes out.
So we're in October right now.
Isn't
Overwatch 2 came out. Nier Automata for the Switch comes out. No Man's Sky for the Switch comes out October 7th. No More Heroes 3, PC Build Simulator.
Oh, fun.
Dragon Ball Breakers.
Yes.
Scorn tomorrow. So yeah, Scorn comes out tomorrow. A Plague Tale Requiem comes out on the 18th, which I've already seen people playing.
I think that Ghostbusters Unleashed is...
Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed on October... This says October 25th through 18th. That makes no sense. Okay.
They, I think that's like a Dead by Daylight type thing.
Oh, yeah. It's the asymmetric 4-on-1 thing.
I think so.
Mario Rabbids.
That's it. I know there was like a big Switch game coming out, and that might be it. Which I heard everybody loves.
New Tales from the Borderlands.
Yes.
No idea what that one is.
It's not a Borderlands game. It's like a Telltale.
Oh, okay.
Style game.
Persona 5 Royale goes to Xbox and Switch finally.
Game Pass.
That just says...
Yeah, it's going on Game Pass.
Gotham Knights is the 21st of October.
Same day as Call of Duty.
Not according to this.
The campaign is the 20th.
Star Ocean, Divine Force, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, October 28th. So yeah, you get it a week early. Resident Evil Village Cloud, which is basically the
Oh,
only
yeah.
way they can get Resident Evil to work on a Switch.
So Resident Evil expansion comes out too, same day as Gotham Knights. Either the same day or the same week.
Let's see. November.
Because they got the director's cut for Resident Evil 8. Is it 8?
No.
7?
The 7's. You get
No,
the
no, no.
remaster in the...
7 is the Louisiana one.
Yeah, that's
this
getting,
is 8. 8
Is 8 getting the first person? No, 8's getting the first person. 8's getting the third person, and 7's getting a remaster.
Oh, 7's getting a remaster?
I think that's what
Okay.
it was.
But there's an expansion coming out that's strictly separate from the Game of the Year edition. That's like Rose DLC. You get to play as her, and then like they added other game modes.
So then we've got Sifu coming out on the Switch in November 8th. Sonic Frontiers coming out November 8th. God of War Ragnarok November 9th. Tactic Ogre Reborn November 11th. I'm going to be buying that. I completely forgot that was coming out. Goat Simulator 3
Oh yeah, yeah.
on November 17th. Dark Pictures Anthology The Devil in Me November 18th. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet November 18th.
Yep, there it is.
World of Warcraft Dragonflight, because that shit's still kicking around, November 28th. Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution coming out for VR, which is the one that actually takes place in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Need for Speed Unbound December 2nd. Can't wait.
Callisto Protocol.
Callisto Protocol on December 2nd. Resident Evil Village The Winters, which is the expansion DLC that says
Is that December?
December 2nd.
I thought that was November.
Marvel's Midnight Suns got pushed to December 2nd, according to
Okay.
this. So, yeah, I'll be getting Need for Speed and Midnight Suns. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion is December 13th. So, yeah, there'll be a few games I'm going to get into this year.
I don't have a lot of faith about Gotham Knights.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until it comes out and I see people playing it to determine whether or not I'm gonna get it.
Midnight Suns is a Diablo style game.
Midnight
right?
Suns is XCOM.
Oh, XCOM style.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I'm like I'm gonna.
That's weird.
It's made by the same people that make XCOM. That's why.
But what if you have a guy that doesn't shoot? You have to run up to a guy and hit
You
him
got to get it within hit range.
to throw a punch.
Yep.
Because the Gears of War style that they did, which is amazing, that's just radio silent. Like it's been, I don't know how many years since 5 came out. Haven't heard a single thing about a sequel.
Gears of War 5, from what I understand, Gears of War 5 didn't do all that great.
No, it wasn't well received by the community.
I mean, they tried saving it by putting New Day and fucking Batista in it.
And the Terminators.
Yeah. They
did a cross play with cross promotion with what's the new one that bombed? That they brought back Linda. Hamilton and
Terminator, Dark Fate.
Dark Fate, yeah, okay. So they did a cross promotion with that to where you can actually play as either the Terminators or Linda Hamilton and the good.
Old man Terminator.
No, it wasn't Schwarzenegger because I don't think they can afford his likeness. It was the chick.
From
the movie.
from that movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was the chick. But yeah, because I remember playing the XCOM version of Gears, and that was kind of fun. I'm not much of a XCOM type
They
of
can
guy.
be fun. Like I got XCOM 2 and
'Cause
all the
sometimes-
DLCs.
It comes down to that fucking RNG sometimes, because there's plenty of times of like, this has a 90% chance of hitting, and I fucking miss.
I mean, it's that table. Look, one of the biggest arguments I ever had playing D&D Because my friend was playing this like big, massive dude. He's like, I'm 10 feet tall, and you're gonna tell me I can't throw a rock accurately further than 10 feet? And like, nope, because that's exactly how the rules state. You cannot throw a rock accurately more than 10 feet. It comes down to numbers. I mean, technically, it kind of works in real life. We just don't see it. With an infinite set of realities, at some point, there is a reality where I went to go sit in this chair and fell right through it.
Well, yeah, it's the fucking Everything and Everywhere All at Once movie, which I'm sure you haven't seen yet, have
Not
you?
yet, no. It's got to be. I'm waiting to see once it's streaming somewhere, or if
It's got to be streaming
somewhere, or if it's for rent for cheap enough on like Amazon.
Don't even get me started on fucking renting shit online.
Yeah, because shit stays way too expensive for way too long. Oh, and you need AMC Plus to watch Interview with a Vampire.
Is that a streaming only show?
That's on AMC Plus.
It's not on AMC the channel?
I don't think so.
Huh. That's odd.
Maybe. I don't know. You'd have to go look. Because I don't have we don't get AMC the channel, but I pay for AMC Plus through Amazon. Because that's how we watched Better Call Saul, and I watched all of the last 2 parts of the last season of The Walking Dead. Man, Interview's really good.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
The Interview with a Vampire is really, really good. And it makes me even more pissed that I missed out on filming it because of my leg.
You can rent it on Prime for $5.
Okay, yeah. So at one point it was like $20 to rent.
You can buy for 20, rent it for 6.
Yeah, so it's gone down. But yeah, let's just get into what we've been watching.
It is a 2 hour and 20-minute movie, so it's
I got nothing but time.
It's a great fucking movie. It's probably still, I would say, my movie of the year so far.
Oh my god, it's October. I need to start doing that, and I haven't seen shit this year.
I haven't seen a fucking the one movie I've seen I actually really enjoyed will be on the top 10 list.
I haven't. I can go back and see exactly what the fuck it is I actually watched. I've been hurt most of the year.
I haven't watched Blonde yet. I've heard
Teresa watched it. She said it's horrible.
Is it? Okay.
She said this. She's like, she cries all the time.
Yeah, for 2.5 hours.
She's like, it's not very accurate. It's not accurate either.
For all the hype they gave it, because this is supposed to be like a big fucking thing for Netflix.
Yeah, it's not. It wasn't. Because she watched it because she said the person who wrote the book she liked, but it's not based on fact. It's not a factual book. It's written like what she thought her mentality and everything would be at that time. Like, so it's a dramatized version of like what you could glean of events.
It's Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Basically, like, I think this is what would have happened.
Oh.
This is what was going through her mind.
Speaking of that, you want to hear a fucking crazy story?
What?
So, Angela Lansbury passed away at 96.
Yes.
Raise your hand if you didn't know she was still alive.
I mean, I hadn't heard anything about it. Like, that would have been one I figured I would have noticed if they came out and said she was dead.
Yeah, I thought she probably died years ago, and I just never forgot.
No, Disney would have made a big deal out of it,
Have they?
I mean, that's how I've seen it, because it's all been like Mrs. Potts is dead and...
Oh yeah, Mrs. Potts and...
all the fucking shit she used to do back in the day for Disney. Like, she was...
Bed knobs and brooms.
Bed knobs and broomsticks?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Like, yeah, she was a fucking Disney back in the day.
So, back in the day, she lived in Hollywood. Her daughter was dating this deadbeat fucking hippie kid. Kind of manipulated her, brainwashed her into like, she would come into the house, steal food, steal valuables and stuff like that, jewelry and stuff like that, and give it to him, and they would use money for other stuff. And she just like couldn't convince the daughter not to deal with this fucking dude anymore. She was so fucking brainwashed. So it's like, I have to get her out of here. Then he moved to Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
That guy was Charles Manson.
Dude, he was like wrapped up in so many fucking people in Hollywood. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Because he fucking crashed at Brian Wilson's house.
Mm-hmm.
If Brian Wilson or...
Would have just gave him a record deal.
No, it wasn't even that. They played his demo or something like that at a party. If I'm getting the story correct, they played his demo and people were fucking laughing because they thought it was bad. And that's what fucking steered him away.
It's like the memes, bro. The making of a supervillain.
Yeah.
Like the one thing that, you know, you one bad day from, like the Joker said, you one bad day away from being me.
Yeah, what Eddie Kingston's been fucking
Dude,
tweeting.
I don't know.
He went on Meme Fest.
He went, oh my God. Like people thought he was like losing his shit. And I'm like, no, he is talking about Andrade and fucking Sammy without fucking saying it.
Yeah.
Because that's when he started doing it. Fucking Doc Holliday shit was great. I'll be a Huckleberry.
But according to Lucha Libre website, news place, apparently this is Andrade's thing. Like everywhere he goes, he's fucking, if he's not the top guy, he's fucking miserable.
Dude, I mean, I don't remember there being, I mean...
He was in it when he got called up to WWE.
I mean, clearly, like, he was... But again, they didn't use him there either. Like, just like they doing here. Like, I mean, I do unfortunately think it does come down to he's great in the ring, but
extremely talented.
You need to put him on a mouthpiece because his accent is way too thick when he tries to speak English. So he should, like, just like Penta. Alex Everhantes translates for Penta.
Did you see Ric Flair tweeted about the toughness and like about the Sammy situation with Andrade?
I can only imagine.
And basically it was like, oh, he's the toughest guy. He knows and stuff like that. And if there was a fight, it would have been...
I mean, I look at it like this way. I guarantee, like, I would even put money on Andrade to just beat Sammy's ass.
He's tougher than Sin Cara. Not the WWE Sin Cara, like the OG original Sin Cara. Because trying to follow Lucha Libre tree is like the fucking Game of Thrones, like we were trying to do with the Targaryens. Like who's fucking related to what?
Who's
sisters
got the
and cousins? Yeah, it's like the mask gets and the name gets passed down to this person, this person, this person. And there was a clip of Andrade and somebody else, I'm guessing the original Sin Cara, chopping the shit out of it, like Walter fucking size chops.
Yeah, no, don't let Sammy fucking go up against like Suzuki or somebody.
Yeah, so
he'd fucking die.
You brought that up. Suzuki's had Daniel
Cormier's fucking, yeah, I saw a picture with him and Riddle.
Yeah, it's the whole group.
Yeah.
Just Murder Grandpa just busting down the forbidden door.
Wait, you have to train it because that's where fucking Nakamura fucking trains at that same fucking dojo.
Yeah, I've seen pictures with him, with the group, but back to entertainment.
I mean, this is entertaining, but yeah, I mean that's really the only biggest. That's
yeah,
still the biggest thing going on in wrestling at this point.
If it wasn't for the Beach Boys,
yep,
Sharon Tate would be alive, and the heir to the Folgers company.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like the
who knows what happens with 9 Inch Nails, the fucking Downward Spiral album.
Yeah. Like there's just the craziest. That's why I think historical fiction I like as a genre. Like I probably would like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as historical fiction.
That movie's so like
I'm still not gonna like the portrayal of Bruce Lee. Just not gonna happen.
No.
But
it's fiction. It's
yeah,
not
it's fiction.
real.
Yeah. So I mean,
it's such a great film. Like, it would perfectly lead into the movie I watched this week. Brad Pitt's great in that film. Leo's great. God, who just did that fucking interview and says every actor in Hollywood has to thank Leonardo DiCaprio when they get a fucking role, because every single role is first offered to Leo.
Yeah, who said that? Somebody, what the fucking interview was it? They said that they got the role because it was offered to Leo and he turned it down.
Yes.
Fucking role was that?
It's a pretty big name actor too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like
I should thank the kid from fucking
Growing Pains.
Growing Pains.
What's
The kid from who on Growing Pains would go on to be like the biggest star ever. And you're like, oh, if you're in the 80s and you're watching, let's go be Kirk Cameron. No, he's going to turn into a fucking loon.
not the younger brother?
The younger brother I haven't seen the younger brother do shit in forever.
I can't remember the kid's name.
Kirk Cameron's sister's going to be a bigger star than he is.
Christy Gold?
No, not the in show, like his actual sister.
Oh, she's fucking batshit crazy too.
Yeah, no, but at least her show, I think, is bigger. Like, I think Family Matters is way bigger than fucking Growing Pains.
Full House.
Well, Full House, yeah. Full House is way bigger than fucking Growing Pains.
But she's more famous now for doing Lifetime fucking Christmas romantic films.
But I mean, he's famous now for just
The Hallmark.
Yeah, he's famous now for just being a religious fucking zealot.
So the one movie I watched that I can remember that you haven't watched is Bullet Train. So I ended up having to buy this on Xbox for $20. Couldn't find it rent. I went to Amazon.
Yeah, because I think it's buy on Amazon too.
Yeah, I went to fucking Cox on demand. They didn't even have it. They just had a fucking trailer. So I ended up buying it for $20, and it comes with all the special features. There's a commentary, there's a blooper reel, there's interviews with the cast, behind the scenes stuff. So it's basically you spending $20, you buying a digital DVD or the Blu-ray.
Oh shit! Episode 3 of Interviews up too.
And it's also, the Bullet Train is very good. It's funny. It's got great action scenes. Amazing cast. Like, just fucking filled. People pop up as like little cameos that you had no idea. I was like, oh my God, this person's in it. The two big standouts is Tangerine and Lemon, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson and Brian Henry's from Atlanta, I want to say. Is he from Atlanta? No, he's not from Atlanta.
Behind the scenes, just this popped up on my thing from Reddit because I get notifications from the spoiler Reddit for Marvel movies, and it's Twerk She-Hulk behind the scenes video, and the first comment, once again, the folks over at Marvel Studios and Asad Aziz show they don't care what the internet thinks.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. That whole show is like, I don't give a shit.
That whole show is like one giant fuck you to the internet. I'm like, That's so great. Oh, this is straight up this is like all the behind the scenes bloopers like shit, but it's literally fucking her dancing in the mocap suit. It's twerking in the mocap suit. To think that's where that's technology has gone.
Well, I'm sure porn somehow got into the
Yeah.
mocap and that shit.
Oh, especially now that you can do everything in fucking real time and fucking whatchamanicky, Unreal.
Oh yeah. But Bullet Train, great movie, great cast. Brad Pitt's very good in it. Great action. It's made by the guys who did Deadpool and Deadpool 2, I think it was.
Yeah, I think it's them.
Yeah, everything takes place on a bullet train in Japan. The story is Brad Pitt is signed to go on a train, grab a suitcase, and then drop off the suitcase, and that's it. But he has very bad luck. He thinks he has bad karma, and he's against violence. But he's trained. He's a trained assassin, but he doesn't want to kill anybody. He doesn't want to do anything. He doesn't use guns. He doesn't believe in guns. But he has this bad luck that people just die around him. And then you just have this cast of characters that just randomly shows up, like other assassins. You got, like I said, Tangerine and Lemon is probably the two standouts in the movie. They're fucking great together. I would love to see a spin-off movie just with them in it. Bad Bunny shows up.
Yeah, isn't he like one of the main?
He's not. No, he's.
I know they were selling it in some of the commercials. Like he was one of the main.
So he
guys.
just broke a record. He has the highest grossing month ever. Like, for an entertainer, it's like some stupid amount of money he made in 1 month touring. He's in it not that long, but it's shot very Quentin Tarantino-like with flashbacks and stuff like that, where you watch one scene and then you cut to another scene, which takes place at the same time. That kind of slowly intertwines into that previous scene you just seen. And the action's very good for how tight the space is. You can tell like they did a great job, especially the big epic battle at the end. The guy who played Scorpion in the Mortal Kombat movies in this.
Oh, the dude from Last Samurai. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Is he in Last Samurai too?
Mm-hmm.
Not Ken
Not Ken Watanabe. He's the other guy who plays. He plays the
asshole guy who doesn't.
Yeah, who
believe
eventually accepts Tom Cruise. Which again, that is an actual like people give that movie shit. Like that's an actual based on like a French military guy.
I've seen. So there's a YouTube channel that I watch called History Buff, where the guy basically breaks down movies and TV shows that takes place during historic events and stuff like that. And he did Last Samurai, and he said, like, oh no, it's pretty fucking accurate.
Yeah, there was like that, but again, the people or Hollywood or whatever, on the internet, oh yeah, it was a white guy that came in and saved the fucking samurai. I'm like,
you got 3 packages coming in.
Yeah, pretty sure this is my microphones, my Captain Crunch, and a Transformer.
He just did 2 episodes. He did Narcos season 2, part 1, and then part 2 of Narcos, which is very good on how accurate that. It's kind of weird. They have to take a picture of your fucking.
That way they can guarantee. That way they know. That's the actual Amazon people. They have to prove that it was here.
So when somebody does steal, it's like, no, motherfucker, we dropped it off. Somebody stole it. But yeah, how much that show, the Narcos show, actually filmed in the same villas, like not that far away from where Pablo was actually fucking shot and killed. And but yeah, if you get a chance, once, I'm sure it's probably going to go on HBO Max, Bullet Train. It's definitely worth a watch. Probably going to be my top. It's not my top movie of the year, but it's either 2 or 3. Unfortunately, I haven't seen too many films this year.
Yeah, I like I said, I'm gonna have to go back and see exactly what all I watched this year. Because I'm like, just thinking, I'm like having a hard time thinking of movies that I saw. I'm sure, like, I usually what I'll do is I'll go back through the release schedule and see exactly what it was that I've seen. But yeah, I don't know. Again, the only thing I think I've seen this past week that you haven't, I've watched Interview with a Vampire. And like I said, it makes me sad that I couldn't, be in this show when I had the opportunity, because I've spent the last 7 months hurt since March. So I had to turn down everything. But it's really, really good. The big set that was built over at the Lowe's around the corner was a recreation of Storyville that burned down in like the 1920s, if I'm not mistaken. And then they end up putting projects there at some point. Notice my microphones, my camera, and my microphones. Yeah, it's really good. It is. I'm sure not enough people are watching it because there's not enough people complaining about the gayness of the main characters. Which then really tells me if people did complain, they really never read anything Anne Rice ever wrote. They did a behind the scenes episode, like vignettes, and talking to people about how much Anne Rice's writing meant to them. Funny to find out. Remember, I don't know if I told you, I had gotten approached to play a witch hunter in something that was shooting out here. Yeah, that was for Anne Rice's other book that they're turning into a TV show, The Mayfair Witches.
Yes, I seen a commercial for that.
Yeah, that was the one that they offered me the role of one of the witch hunters, and I could not take it because of this leg. So that would have been like a feature, like I would have been like naming credits, like legit role. And I could not take it. But I didn't even realize that's what it was because I wasn't really paying attention to anything that came up at that point because I'm like, I can't do anything with this leg. And it was for fucking Mayfair with another Anne Rice book. So there's 2 Anne Rice TV shows on the air right now. Because I think that starts soon, if not like really soon. But I mean, it's a really like it's... To say that most of it's shot on sound stages and sets, you would think they were shooting it downtown. Because it looks really good. And it's weird, like, because you could almost say... You'd have to change... Because it's Lestat that attacks Christian Slater at the end of the original, right?
Yes.
So the way this set is set up, the person doing the interview...
Brad Pitt's the one that's doing an interview.
Lestat's the one that attacks Christian Slater at the end.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt's the one giving the interview. So Brad Pitt's Louis, Tom Cruise was Lestat. In this show, the dude doing the interview interviewed Louis like 30 years prior. And that interview ends... with Louis attacking him. So you could almost go, like, if you just... It's almost the same premise as the first movie, is what you're supposed to take as, like, the backstory, because the kid's in college. Like, the guy doing the interviews in college when he interviews him the first time. So it all lines up, kind of. It's just... Because they even play he gets sent the tape of the original interview, and it ends with, like, the tape ends with him being attacked and, like, screaming no. So it may turn out that was a stat that attacked him either way. but it's just, I guess if you wanted to, you could watch the original and say, like, haven't seen the original, this goes in with the timeline. Like, they didn't turn Christian Slater. He didn't get attacked in the car. He got attacked at the interview. It's just a slight reworking of how the first movie ended.
I guess not breaking news, but
so yes, breaking news.
Looks like Edge, Adam Copeland, will be Ares, God of War, in the Percy Jackson Disney Plus TV show.
I remember back in the day, I started reading the first book, and it wasn't. I mean, it's definitely not a high level.
It's a
book, like it's
a mid-teen,
but it's a decent enough story to like interest an adult, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, because it's, well, I guess if you like mythology and stuff.
Is this their version of like, let's piggyback on this Harry Potter craze?
It might have been. I don't know when Percy Jackson was originally written, but I mean, it's got a lot of mythology and
the
stuff.
movies definitely, because once Harry Potter movies was huge, like
everybody was running out to get the fucking next young. Yeah, I mean that comes in waves. That's what I'm saying. I just don't remember. I don't know when because they're not even as thick as the Harry Potter books. They're very short reads. But that ought to be fun. I remember when the WWE pushed his first role, which was in Highlander, when he was in it for all of a minute, and that was it. But Vince is like, oh, my guy's in something other than wrestling, so I gotta milk it for all it's worth.
2005, it looks like.
But the original Percy Jackson?
Yeah.
So when was Harry Potter? You know what? It's probably around. I mean, fucking publishing companies probably run basically the same thing. You'll see them all fucking try and put out the same kind of books to get all audience share.
Yeah, I can see that.
So just like movies and video games.
97.
I mean, so within a decade of one another.
I do say going on Netflix, looking at their like what's next week or worth the wait, what's coming up. There was quite a few stuff of like.
Oh yeah, I got a whole bunch of stuff bookmarked.
It's just more shit I'm gonna add to my fucking queue that I'm just eventually watch one day. Because they got one with the bodybuilding true crime. You seen that one?
Mm-mm.
So apparently this woman was a bodybuilder, married a guy who was a pretty popular bodybuilder person. And then she killed him, shot him with a shotgun twice. And then it's like she gets put in jail, but it comes to the fact of like how much abuse that dude, because the dude was like taking tons of steroids.
Mm-hmm.
And then how they got the money to buy the steroids by doing muscle porn, I guess you could say, where men pay to have Amazon women basically put them in like scissor locks and headlocks and all this other shit. Basically have their way with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, but apparently the guy was like super abusive, and one day she
had enough.
He was gonna kill her, so she grabbed a gun and fucking shot him. And then
Billie
it's
Jean.
like, yeah, The Adventures of Billie Jean. And it's like, when is it self-defense? Was it premeditated? Because when he was on the ground shot, she did the second shot like point blank in the face. So now is it premeditated murder?
Talk about a movie that I'm surprised never got remade.
The Adventures of Billie Jean?
Yeah.
I remember watching it as a kid. Because, once again, back in the day, HBO only had like 5 movies they showed a month.
And the fucking, who was that? Pat Benatar that did the song Invincible?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that's a movie I think would fit right in nowadays.
Lisa Simpson?
Subject wise. She was, one of them.
Yeah, Lisa Simpson was in it.
The woman
friend.
who played Supergirl at that point back then was the main girl.
Not Kristen Swanson.
No, that was Buffy.
Yeah. Fuck, I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
but she played Supergirl. She played Billie Jean.
Oh, really? I mean,
It's the same person.
She had a very short haircut.
Yeah, she had a head. She chopped her hair. Like her hair was chopped off for Billie Jean, but she was the original Supergirl.
Huh. I remember liking the movie, but
Billy, it's not a bad movie. But that's what I'm saying. Like to me, it seems like that's a movie. I'm surprised that no one now today has been like, let's remake that. It fits in. Like it's about a woman being abused and finding herself and shit. Like to me, that just seems like it would be a fucking. Now, granted, people would fucking complain because the internet fucking complains about everything.
yeah, the people that's doing the documentary about the bodybuilding, I can't remember. They did. I guess Netflix has that like group of documentary people that they just constantly. They go from one Netflix documentary to another Netflix
documentary takes a very specific kind of filmmaking. Like you can't.
It's a lot of research.
It is, but even then, it's still one of those like. You shoot a documentary way completely different than you. The whole process of making a documentary is way different than fucking making a movie.
Yeah.
And I was telling her, we went to Brewster's after I went to the doctors the other day, and I was like, you know what, man, what sucks? All these things that I wanted to shoot for over the years, like these scenes that inspired my filmmaking like style. And it's from the first episode of Miami Vice, the fucking car scene. To fucking, I can feel it. I now have the car. I now have the equipment. And I can't drive. I wanted to remake that scene my entire fucking, since I picked up a camera. That and the fucking montage from Rocky IV with the tunnel.
Oh, I was about to say, where are you going to find the mountain?
No. The driving. I always wanted to reshoot the scene with him and Adrian, like rewrite it though, like not because I'm not like
fucking cheesiest dreams.
Hey man, you got to keep your look. I am 42 years old and I have been making things and working with cameras since I was 17, and I have yet to do it. So it's not that low of a bar.
See, I would have been more impressed if it would have been the training scene in the mountains of Russia.
No. Because my point of reshooting that was to write that as an homage to that sequence, was to write it in my own movie and have it be like way further down in the story.
You know what that sounds like? Something you would see on Rick and Morty. Because they'll find the most obscure fucking scenes from movies
To redo, like,
to fucking remake.
but it's those things that like stick in your head as a filmmaker, like. Because we would talk, because when it really brought it up to me, she sent me a picture of Adam Driver from the Ferrari movie that's being made, and Michael Mann's doing it, and I'm like, Michael Mann has a very distinctive visual style, like Miami Vice, Black Hat, like he has a very distinct style of making things.
Collateral,
like his movies look a very distinct way. And I'm like, that was very interesting to me that Michael Mann is doing the movie about Enzo Ferrari. And that's what made me think of, like, I have the car, I have the camera and the equipment to redo that scene from fucking Miami Vice. And I can't drive. And my tubs is probably no longer interested in doing it because I barely talked to him. Couldn't tell you the last time I talked to him. She did offer up somebody from her work though, and we just swap races. It'd be a white Tubbs and a black Crockett.
See, now you're getting into the fucking Always Sunny aspect of it. Them remaking Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta just be... That would be one of the things. Well, why's Crockett gotta be black? Well, because I can't drive. That's why.
I guess the couple stuff we've seen together, well, what you haven't seen that I've seen is House of Dragons.
But we can talk about it because
I
know everything that goes on in the show, and
you watch the recaps,
and I know the lore.
Really,
I really just need to
really watch that show. It's so fucking House of Dragons now.
I might do because the next one's the last one for the season, right?
Yes.
So I'll probably just watch them all when I can just.
House of Dragons is probably one of the best shows this year that I've watched.
I'll give it that because I mean, just not even watching it, just the story, knowing how well they're doing the story. Yeah, people are complaining about the time jumps, but when you know the source material isn't a fully fleshed out novel, like those first seasons of Game of Thrones were based on fully fleshed out novels. This isn't a full, like, you get to see Rhaenyra from she's a kid, all like it jumps around because it's basically an insight. It's a history book. It's written like a history book. Like you wouldn't read a history book in school of
the entire timeline.
Yeah,
of one person.
you would. It would be the major events.
Yeah. It's also history is written by the victors, so they're probably gonna leave stuff out.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Like either this or Saul. I couldn't tell you like which one was better.
I don't know. I think just from an investment standpoint, I was probably invested more in Saul.
Yeah. House of Dragons is probably more of a surprise on how good it is.
Yes, because going into it, people were like, "This is going to be shit."
Considering it's like how the bad taste you have from Game of Thrones, and then coming into this, and it's just because I don't think the original guys are.
No, they have nothing to do with this. But I will say, it goes to show you where the downfall of the Game of Thrones show was. When they ran out of material from Martin and they had to write their own shit.
And it's also basically, what fans what do y'all want to see? Okay, we'll do that. Well, every conspiracy theory, we'll fucking throw that in. And then we need to get this done because we got this Star Wars film that we want to do.
Yeah, that we're not even going to be able to do.
Yeah. And then we're going to do this what if the Confederate won the Civil War? But now we can't do that because...
Which again, as a historical fiction person, who I would not have been... I don't think that's a bad idea for a show. No. I don't think that's the two people who needed to do it though. Because you can make a really good show out of... Depending on how you approach that.
Yeah. It just got announced... Like, if it wasn't announced during that time...
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, they announced it at the wrong time.
It never would have got canceled. Because fuck, what was that show with Donnie that was on AMC with Donnie?
Into the Badlands. Yeah, that wasn't Donnie Yen. It was another Asian guy, but yeah.
It wasn't Donnie?
No, it wasn't Donnie Yen.
But yeah, House of Dragons, like this past episode was very good because this was Paddy. I'm sure I want to get his name last. I'm not even going to. King Valeris. This is his Emmy. For your consideration episode. He was so fucking good. The makeup was so good.
Yeah, and because the whole critique of his character the whole season has been he's not really he's a middling king. Like he doesn't.
Yeah.
And this one, he fucking stood up and said, "No, you bitches, you're gonna listen to me."
It shows you the curse of the Iron Throne, that he made him out of swords because the king, whoever sits in it, you can't get too comfortable in it.
Yeah, and he
Because
was very comfortable as king.
Yeah, the longer you sit, you're not supposed to be sitting on his throne. You're supposed to be out battling and fighting and
Keeping the kingdom in order.
Because all of his wounds, like his infected wounds and stuff like that, is coming from sitting on the Iron Throne, of all the getting cuts and little stabs from sitting down. Or you could say leprosy, one of the two. But
I mean, it could look, as somebody who's dealt with a crap ton of infection this year, I can see that just being festering infections.
Yeah, and just the Mason, because when they were treating it early in the first couple episodes, like the Mason, the head Mason for the king, wasn't listening. It was like, oh no, don't. We're not going to do that. We're going to do the old way.
Yeah,
which probably made it worse.
Mm-hmm.
But now it got to the point where like his arm's gone, half of his face is rotted off. That he has zero energy, and it was really tough to watch the scene of, especially him laying in bed, because of how much he looked like my dad towards the end of his life, and minus half of the face rotting off. But the
yeah, no, they freaking on the recap they even fucking blurred out the makeup.
But the scene of him coming, showing his presence one last time in front of his family and his subjects and stuff like that, was such a great scene of him walking. Just every ounce of energy he has left in his body, he's going to use it to get to the Iron Throne, to oversee this one last.
Right, he was going to make sure, like he was showing his presence. Yeah,
make sure his what he wants to happen after he's gone happens, to reinstate this. This is what I want. And there's a great scene of him going up the stairs, doing it by himself, and he stumbles a bit, and the crown falls off, and his brother Damon grabs the crown and goes to help him up the stairs. It's such a great scene. And it turns out that wasn't supposed to happen. That Patty was going up, the crown accidentally fell off his head, and just so happens Matt Smith was right next to him, caught the crown, and then kind of improvised the rest of that scene. Helps him up, sits him down, and then gently puts the crown back on his head, and then walks away.
That's the mark of good actors. Like just keep.
Oh
going.
yeah, just keep going. Knowing you can see this is a great moment. Let's keep it. And speaking of fucking Matt Smith, it's just how much he doesn't age in this fucking show. Everybody else age. It's 21 years from episode 1 till now. You can say 30 years because of the prologue, but it's...
I mean, the Doctor doesn't age.
That's true. So, it's just the political aspect of it. I mean,
that's what made the original. So that's what made the original Game of Thrones TV show good.
And it's how much.
It's what made the books good.
Yeah. And it's how much you see parents influence their kids.
Oh yeah, this is
how
very much a
hatred trickles down to your kids.
Where's the people screaming wokeness for this? Because I mean, that's basically all this is. Like, hate isn't there. You teach hate.
Yeah.
These kids were all friends,
except for Rhaenyra's kids. Like the two, not the two bastard ones.
Well, all three of her kids were.
I'm sorry.
Her original kids are all bastards.
Joffrey's not old enough yet, but the two oldest, especially the one that's going to be king after her, legit has good heads on their shoulders. They seem like they're good kids.
Yeah,
and they know right from wrong.
They were all friends.
Yeah.
Like, they would pick on fucking Aegon, but, like, they were all friends. And now, just from the hatred of their parents.
Yeah.
Or the hatred from
the two,
the queen and her dad.
Yeah. And it's the fact of the queen's kids now are just the complete opposites.
Mm-hmm.
Because of what you did.
Yeah, because of the hate you put into them. They're horrible people.
Your oldest kid that's supposed that you want to be king is a fucking rapist and a fucking alcoholic.
Yeah.
Your middle kid lost an eye, but gained a dragon. But he's a complete fucking asshole now who's quick to violence.
And he's got to marry a sister. One of them marries the sister.
No, the oldest married the sister.
Oldest, yeah, I was about to say one of them had to marry
the only good one of that is the sister, who has foresight.
Yeah,
I think they call it dragon sight or whatever it's called. Who basically said, like,
yeah, she's literally got the same shit that fucking Aegon had.
Yeah, and also
he's the one, because the whole fucking Song of Fire and Ice comes from Aegon. Like, he saw that after he conquered Westeros.
Also, Daenerys had it.
She saw, yeah, because she could see things. She just couldn't.
She had a vision in season 2, I think it was.
But Aegon and Helena's visions seem to be way more clear.
Okay.
Like, hers were like, oh, you see Jason Momoa and the baby and all this, and fucking King's Landing's all fucking burnt up, and you couldn't really tell what was going on. Like, Helena straight up said, yeah, he's going to get a dragon, but he's going to lose an eye.
Yeah, it's like, I won't. It's like, you will get a dragon, and then she chimes in, but you'll close an eye.
You'll lose an eye. Like, she just says he'll lose an eye.
No, she said close an eye.
Oh, I thought she just said
Which
straight up.
Interprets into,
you're going to lose an eye.
Yeah, your eye's going to be forever closed. But now the season finale's Sunday, and the king dies at the end of this episode. And now it's the shit's about to hit the fan because all the fucking players are in one place.
Oh yeah, because now it's now is the actual Dance of the Dragon.
Now it's the power move. Who's the first one to make the power move? Which looks like it's going to be the Queen in Hightower.
Well, now, yeah, because now you're going to get into the Targaryen Civil War. The two houses are going to the Hightowers trying to keep Aegon II on the throne.
The black and the green.
Yeah, the black versus the green. Yeah.
Yeah. And how far do you go down? Because are you going to get into the Mad King stuff? Like, do you go that far into the lineage?
Do you keep? Because I mean, this isn't going to last forever. Do you go all the way up until?
Because Matt Smith, Prince Daemon, and Princess Rhaenyra. They're only 3 generations from Jon Snow.
I mean, they die at a certain point. Like, there's a big fucking thing. Like, they're building up to, I don't know how they're gonna do it. Clearly, it's not this season. They're gonna be building up to something. Because for it to end this season, the way the whole shit ton of people would have to die. But they've got time for a timeline. Like, now they could play out the book. I don't know how far the history goes. I don't know if it's just the Targaryen Civil War and then the book ends, or if they're gonna go. But you could do the Targaryen Civil War, which is Aegon II versus Rhaenyra, and then you could keep going, and just have Martin, because a lot of the stuff between now and then is written about.
It's also the fact of, you come down to it, who has the most dragons?
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying, this is going to be at least the most 4 seasons. You can't drag it out much longer than that.
Princess Rhaenyra has.
Oh, they start dropping. That's how bad the fight gets.
5 dragons?
Yeah, they start dropping. Because it's the last dragon dies while her son is king. Well, the last dragon's born
Okay.
while her son is king, Aegon the Third. So Rhaenyra's oldest is still on the throne when the last dragon is
'cause
born.
She has what, 5 kids?
She's
Six-
got
six
the
kids.
3, and then she's got the 3 from what's his face, and then the 3 from Daemon.
Yeah. Yeah, because she's pregnant again, and when she goes back to King's Landing after 6 years
Mm-hmm.
to meet up with Daddy, and then yeah, because then you go into the sea snakes, Driftwood's kids.
Mm-hmm.
They have dragons.
I did like how Screen Crush put it. Like, no one remembers bloodlines. They remember names.
Yeah.
He said, and then he cuts to like Game of Thrones when that house wasn't even there. Like, they didn't show up and do anything.
Yeah. Foul not found. But yeah.
But I mean, you could literally have like that would be something I would be interested in seeing. Like all the shit we didn't get to see in Game of Thrones. Like have, because we didn't see a lot of shit in Game of Thrones. And you could always have like another set of characters. I want to know what goes on with that other house because that's the only other Valerian house. And you would think since they got something to do with, you know, ships and ocean, they would have been in the other season, other show, but they're not. And they're not in the book either. So something's got to happen to them that they disappear completely.
But isn't there like a threat of war with the Martells?
They're the ones that hold like. Is it the Martells or is it the fucking Dornish? Like the Sand Snake. Like that fucking Dorne never fucking came underneath the fucking throne.
I take that back. There's 2 more episodes. There's 10 episodes this season. But the way the fucking next week's sneak peek episode, like the little...
Well, I mean, Game of Thrones always, when they did the shows, it was always like the big episode and then the finale was kind of like a setup. Because you never had the big throwdown episode at the end. It was always like episode 8 or 9.
Because when... Sir Vaemon, the dude's brother that wants to take over because his,
because
yeah. So when he's giving his speech about the kids being bastards, she's a whore, all this also just going on about the bloodline, it has to stay in the blood, that we have survived 1,000 years, we survived the Great Doom and all this other stuff.
Yeah, because they were the only house. I want to say...
Because them and the Targaryens are like 2 oldest houses.
They left... I think they left Valyria first, and then the Targaryens left.
Because they had to, right?
Well, they knew the... Like, somebody... The whole reason there was the big calamity, and I want to say the dragon site saved those 2 houses, because they believed it.
Okay.
No one else believed it.
So it's like Pompeii.
Yeah. So the 2 houses, they knew, they believed something was going to happen, so they left. No one else did, which is why if you look at the fucking, the model that King Viseri was making, this big, huge fucking, like that's what Valyria was, this fucking metropolis. Like, no, like everyone got way too blasé. Like it was kind of, I guess you could equate it with like the Roman Empire, like the height of Rome.
Oh, okay.
Where it was like,
the barbarians.
It was too big.
Rome.
Yeah, it was too big to kind of fail. Like nobody believed it would. Oh, nothing's gonna happen, and they got so laissez-faire. The fucking barbarians were able to come running in. Well, this was like no one believes the fucking because I mean, it might have been just a big fucking natural disaster, but nobody believed it.
Doesn't it go into the sea? Like it sinks into the sea?
Yeah, like it's gone completely. Like so, I don't even know that you could get back to old Valyria. Because it's completely been destroyed. It's like Pompeii, like it completely wiped off the fucking face.
They when he's giving that speech, and if you watch, like there's a very quick scene that somebody on Twitter pointed out. It's such a great scene. As he's giving his speech, Matt Smith just looks over at the princess. and gives her like a little fucking look, and she just ever so slightly nods, saying like, if you want to do something,
Go ahead.
go ahead. And when he yells out, and she's a whore, fucking the king gets up in his last fucking breath, pulls out his little dagger, and it's like, I'm gonna cut your tongue out for saying. And then split second later, fucking Damon just slices his fucking head in half.
Well, yeah, because like not only did she give him permission,
Yeah.
when his brother, like, that's the ultimate permission.
Yeah, the king.
The king sat there, like, when Viserys got up and sat down, like said, Damon's like, I can do this and get away. Like, no, done.
Yeah, it's like, and what he says afterwards, it's like, well, it's not his tongue. And then everybody draws the sword on him. It's like, whoa. And, it's just like you was not expecting that. It was just like, so good. Like, that episode was so good from Sunday night. We're gonna have to start up the Game of Thrones watch party now again.
Yeah.
Like we used to do it.
Yeah, because this, like, again,
Justin's
nobody
house.
expected this show to be any good.
No.
After the way the fucking original show ended, like, no, like, I was very hesitant because I'm like, how, like, I knew Martin hadn't completely written the material himself.
I can see this next year for the Emmys, like
Oh,
being
yeah.
that one where it just it gets nominated for all the fucking characters. It's
Saul
not gonna
can't-
win.
Saul can't catch a break.
I don't think it's gonna win. Because
It's still got to
too
go up
new.
against Succession.
Yeah, Succession comes back, and then you got Better Call Saul, and then you got Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's
Yeah, it's.
Tale?
I haven't watched any of those yet.
Oh, it is out.
It's on
Okay.
Hulu.
Oh, speaking of which, Netflix now is gonna go to weekly episodes for their TV stuff.
Some of them, like, I think so, it helps some stuff.
Like I'm guessing because of there's been such a huge decline in
Well,
subscription.
the number. I mean, it's the decline in the subscriptions. It's a decline in the stock prices, which really you can't blame on anything other than the stock market is fucking tanking at this point.
Yeah.
But it does, like, some of the small, not the big shows hang around, right?
Yeah.
Some of the smaller ones peak and then drop. And I think if you know you've got a really good show, put it on week to week. It works for Disney.
Yeah.
I think that proves that it'll work.
It's the fact of, especially with House of Dragons, it's just like every fucking episode gets better and better, and every episode it's like can't miss TV. It's like you fucking counting the days before it's like it's Game of Thrones time.
Yeah, because I mean, I love Stranger Things this past season, but again, it was one of those we sat and watched like 6 episodes all at once,
Yeah, it's
and
basically
then put the rest of them on the next day.
yeah, it's an all day fucking thing to watch half a season.
Yeah,
You waste.
but
you
I
have
mean,
to
even
waste
then,
a
it's
whole
like
day.
you watch it and then you're done with it. Like we come and talk about it,
Yeah,
but a normal person, like,
it also comes down to awards season when if it comes out too early and you dump all the episodes all at once,
yeah, it gets
people
lost.
gonna forget. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like fucking Dahmer came out. That should get awards,
yeah,
but it came out all at once. Granted, now there's some stuff that needs to be. I think you need to be able to sit and watch.
Also,
And once, like, Dahmer, you think you need, because the way Dahmer was, like, you at points you can, like, are they gonna try and make this dude redeemable? Are we gonna supposed to, like, there are some episodes that make you feel like, are they trying to make us feel sympathetic for Jeffrey Dahmer? And then, like, you get to episode 5 and you're like, no, he's a horrible piece of shit.
yeah, the families of the victims are coming out against Netflix show.
I mean, I get it. Like, it's not been that long.
It's also it's going to be the #1 Halloween costume.
I mean, any blonde-haired kid with glasses looks like Jeffrey Dahmer.
I've seen a couple where it's like kids that's not even teenagers yet.
Oh, no,
It's
that's
just-
their fucking parents dressing them up like
yeah,
that.
and it's like holy shit, it's like a fucking mini me of Dahmer.
Yeah, but I mean, again, he's just like a normal, average blonde dude with fucking glasses. As a small child, I could have passed for a mini Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, I probably could have back when I had blonde hair.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get it. I get people, because again, this has happened in the late 80s, early 90s. You still have people who are very much alive and young enough to look, not like what Gacy's was in the
70s. 60s,
70s. So a lot of,
I mean, you get closer to like the fucking BTS.
Yeah.
Not BTS.
Bind, Torture, Kill. BTK.
BTK. Yeah.
Bind, Torture, Kill. Not
BTS
is
the
the
fucking
Korean band. Yeah. BTK.
That's a whole different cult.
Talk about that motherfucker. Like, dude, you were scot-free.
That dude, I loved. I watched.
You were scot-free, and then your dumbass had to go and write a letter.
Emailed a letter.
Yeah, like you.
He even asked, "Hey, if I send this email, can you trace me?" Oh no, send all the emails you want. Okay. I watched a documentary about him on YouTube. It was like I don't know what channel it was on, but they ripped it and put it on YouTube. And because there's a moment where his wife is reading the paper. He's reading the paper, and she's also reading over his shoulder about the killer. And she's looking at the note that he wrote, and he's like, "Oh, look, you write the I think the S or something like that. The same way as this guy." And for a split second in his mind, he thought, "I'm gonna have to kill her." Like he was thinking in his head as she said that. I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna have to kill her. I'm probably gonna have to kill the kids, and I'm gonna have to move." And he was about to do it. He was about to kill her, and she was just like, "Huh, that's a funny coincidence," and just went back on her day. And it's just the fact of like, this dude was the model citizen.
He got away. He got away with it.
He's been doing it for like since the 60s up until the 90s.
He had gotten away with it.
Yeah. He would have been that one.
He'd have been another Zodiac.
I think they already found who that is. I think they pretty much know. It's like, all right, a lot of experts can say this. It was this guy.
Yeah, but I mean, either up until that point now, like,
yeah, it took a while.
Like, he could have been a Zodiac, like, where he just never got, like,
it's like the fucking.
Because you look at him, you're like, how? No one would have suspected this dude.
Who was the DNA guy? Not the Green River Killer. The one where they did the DNA for the granddaughter, and it turned out it was the same DNA from a crime scene from a.
I don't remember.
Oh God, what the fuck? It was in California.
Patton Oswalt's wife had something to do with catching the Green River Killer.
Yes.
Some book or whatever she wrote.
God, what the fuck? No, I know she knows. Yeah, because I want to say the granddaughter took a DNA test, and every DNA test result goes through the FBI database and then all the other databases just in case, and it popped up of like some cold case.
Yeah, no, and people complain about them. Like, dude, you have to agree to that when you sign up for those. Like, it's in the terms, and like there's weird. I mean, I don't think they automatically go, but it's weird how they do it.
It's like the South Park episode where they sign up for Apple and they keep clicking on the agree to the terms without reading it, and then next thing you know, I think either Kyle or Stan is now in a human centipede.
Yeah, my ass go. But we just had, because Ancestry updates your DNA. The more it gets of a thing that can kind of narrow your DNA down and what our actual genetic makeups are.
You know how expensive it is to do an Ancestry report on yourself? Like if you get an expert to do it?
Oh, yeah. Because it's tedious as hell.
It is $3,000 per family member.
Yeah, it's tedious as hell.
So your grandparents and your two sets of grandparents, that's fucking $12,000.
It's tedious as hell for them to go through. Like it's been a pain. I traced back my line a good ways on depending on who it was. Like I went looking for my Irish heritage and it stopped. Like I ran into a dead end like a generation in Ireland. My grandfather on my mom's side, that's the side of the family that I found the most. I found my Native American relative. I found people who fought in the Revolutionary War. Like, that's how far back that side goes.
Jenny McCarthy, Melissa McCarthy.
No, dude, it's so hilarious. I have not found another outside of my family. Like, my mom.
Another McCarthy?
Nope.
Not even Paul?
There is no. As long as it's bloodline, we should all be technically related.
I guess McCarthy.
No, they changed. So the name, it's one family, and they changed the spelling of it as they moved out. Is how that happened.
Oh, I don't want to be associated with my brother anymore.
Basically.
So
it's a very Irish thing to do. So technically, we should all be related if you follow it back enough. My great-grandfather's father, like, that's the last McCarthy that I can come get any information on. I can't get any information. No one on Ancestry with the name McCarthy has shown up as a DNA match.
I see
and the only reason I know this is all legit because people from my mom's side have submitted, and I have a shit ton of Bayhans. My uncle is my mom's brother had did one. He's on that. Like, my dad's side of the family just like did we fucking change our names? Did we commit some fucking massive crime?
maybe
In Ireland and just fucking change our names.
the potato famine.
Because it would have made it. My grandfather's dad fought in World War One, so he was here, but his father is from Ireland, like, and I can't find anything past him. Just like my grandfather, my dad's mom, I can't get anybody past her dad. I think we're just a fucking family of criminals that
Gypsies.
fucking Irish and Italian mob.
I'm just scared of doing a DNA test and it just coming back of like your whole life you're supposed to be 100% French, 100% Italian on my dad's side, and then my mom's side it's
it's gonna be different.
German and Native, I think Seminole.
It's gonna be different because
And then come back, like if I get the test back and it's like you're not even, there's no French, there's no Italian in you.
So at first the Native American didn't show up in me. I've gone through Ancestry and Family Tree. I haven't checked Family Tree, but it updates. It's in my uncles. So I'm like, all right, maybe I just didn't get it. But now it shows up. Indigenous American, North America. But I also have Singali,
What the fuck is Singali?
Central Africa, Cameroon, Congo. And when I go back through my bloodline...
Your family's that motherfuckers that went to Africa and tried to colonize it. Yeah.
No, I found... Because I've gone back...
Are you Belgium?
No. I've
Okay.
gone back far enough, and you can see... Like, so... Way back... Like, there's literally somebody married a black woman way back at one point, and then it just...
Yeah.
Because there's pictures of them. Like, there's still weird... There's pictures of them. There's the Native American that I've tracked down to was someone from the Carolinas. He fought in the American Revolution for the Americans. So he completely whitewashed himself, but he always claimed his Native American heritage. But he had like a religious white name. His kids all had religious white names. But when he filed for his pension from the Revolutionary War, it was filed as a Native American. So
I want to know if I'm related to the guy who tried to blow up the Canadian Parliament. We have the exact same name. First, middle, and last.
it's because I grew up. I was always told I was Irish and Italian. That's it. You look at my family. It was like Irish, Italian, and whatever my mom's side was.
My grandmother on my dad's side is Italian, hardcore Italian. and then my grandpa's side is French.
23% England, Northwestern Europe, 23% Irish, 13% Scottish, 12% Southern Italy, 7% Jewish, 6% Northern Italian.
Oh, you might have some Sicily in you.
Yeah, well, yeah, because that I figured. Which also could be where the Central Africa and that comes from. Because motherfuckers were just mingling in the fucking Mediterranean without any care.
Or your mob side of your family.
Aegean Islands. This one's cool, the Basque.
The fuck is Basque?
So it is a area between France and Spain. In mythology, they are the descendants of Atlanteans.
All right, now they're just making shit up.
No, Basque, like they have their own, like they are, it is fucking Basque, like weird fucking history.
When did that get fucking eaten up by France or Spain?
Because it's like in between, like it's on the border. It's like it's an area of the land where only these people come from. It's like if Sicily was a part of the main Italian peninsula, but there was a distinctive DNA difference between the Sicilians and
the Italians.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's like it's one of the cooler ones that's on there, but it updates, when the shit gets narrowed down. But I had a discussion with a Palestinian friend of mine, and we were talking about the crazy shit going on over there, and I'm like, bro, I have no heritage. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I showed him this, and I'm like, I grew up a white kid that didn't care like anybody. I have no heritage.
Apparently your family did something awful in Ireland.
You ain't lying.
They probably caused the potato famine.
This is like, where's my tree? Like, that's it right there. That's my dad. That's his dad. That's his dad. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's 3 once you go like 1811. And then whoever Cornelius was. And there's no date of birth, no date of death.
Oh, that just sounds like a fucking...
His wife was born in 1781. That's all. Like, on neither side, this is where this starts.
And she didn't die. She's still alive.
Definitely, like, nobody can, like, there's not... I'm like, oh, God. We did something. And then my mother's side... Like... It just keeps going.
Wait a minute, what the fuck? The picture
1490.
What is that picture of?
Headstone?
Oh, the headstone.
1490.
You did all that yourself?
Yep.
See, I want somebody to do that for me.
Because all this stuff, like, you do this and you can go through records and it looks for, like, birth certificates and stuff like that.
I want to be famous so I can go on that PBS show.
Yes.
Where they
I
look
want to go do it too because I'm like, look, I'll be like straight up and like, find my black relatives. Although I don't have to. I can like, because you do the matches on here
Yeah.
of people. Oh, there are people in New Orleans related to me in the black community. I love messing with my parents whenever I would tell them because my dad would get mad. And then I think it's hilarious that all of that, DNA, like the black, the Jewish, the Native American, is all on my racist ass grandfather's side.
Well, that's probably usually the thing. Like the most racist guy ended up raping or having sex with a...
I mean, it's from
forbidden...
It's from that side of the family. I just think it's hilarious.
Or maybe it's like the son or the daughter or something like that rebelling against the dad of the family.
I mean, this is all people that share some form of DNA with me. Distant cousin, parent to side. And they're all primarily from my mom's side.
See, what sucks is a long time ago, a relative from up north that's made a family tree book of us. and was going to sell it. Like, hey, we got these. Instead of giving it to us, they were going to sell it to us.
Well, I mean, you gotta try and get something out of
So
especially if they like distant cousins. Hey, look.
And I think they found they didn't find my grandpa or nothing like that. They found my dad, and they told him about the book. And like, I know my grandpa wanted it, and I think my dad was talking about wanting it, but they just never bought the book, which sucks because I would have been fascinated to read that book to see, because apparently he did like pretty in-depth research on the family lineage.
Oh yeah, like when you go in through some of these, like pull into some of these people, like some of them have more than others about them, and there was one section of the family that had like fucking 12 kids, and they all lived.
That's the fucking Irish.
No, this is my mom's side, so this is like, I'm like, so they all lived too. It's not like they had a big massive family because a bunch of them died. No. They lived. So there was a shit ton. There was like some fucking incest. It's like, I don't know. It's weird. Like,
I don't know.
It was either that or it was like brothers married a set of sisters or something weird like that.
I'll get my family tree and it's like, man, this thing doesn't fork that often. I don't know what's going on.
It is interesting to sit and do though, to like look up.
Yeah.
And you can get them like on special, like Ancestry will do like deals during like the holidays, because that's when we did it.
My tree's fucking leaning over, lopsided to the fucking ground. Like,
you're too saping on.
Yeah.
There's too much Dalmatian in your blood.
I don't know. I have no idea. I know there's like, you type in my name in Facebook, you get 1,000 fucking people in Canada.
Oh yeah, so yeah, because this even it brings up the areas, like in your thing, like where everyone's from. And it's like, I mean, it goes into pretty good depth of.
It's like, oh, you're Colombian and fucking Eskimo.
Yeah, because look, there's my Senegalese it's on the coast. No, that's what it is. That's why we keep getting hit with hurricanes. That's right where hurricanes come from.
Oh, you pissed off some tribes?
It's like some ancient ancestor spirits just like...
You stole those fucking people's idol and sold it. And now you're cursed. Your family cursed. Where they just send fucking hurricanes at us every couple years, once in a generation.
That's what it is. Because then that's the Basque people right there, like right in on the like the line between France and Spain.
Yeah, but it's not its own country, right?
No, it's just an area like weird hills have eyes, fucking closed fucking community. That it's a distinctive genetic marker.
Now it would be something if my ancestors are from like fucking Romania and you go back to like Vlad the fucking Impaler times. And I was like, all right, now we're kind of getting somewhere.
I'm telling you, it was cool to fucking follow back that one guy all the way to the 1400s. I mean,
oh, you're just like, oh man, because everybody wonders like, oh, what famous people was I related to and all this other stuff. And then they'll probably do mine. It's like, no, every fucking person in your family was boring and just...
That would be great. That would be a great episode of television.
The most...
Like, you're so hyped about it, and the dude comes out, and he's like, well, I got some good news for you and some bad news for you.
We went back to, like, the 1500s. Nobody in your family did shit.
You don't have to worry. Yeah, they started by pumping you up. Well, you don't have to worry. There's no killers. Like, there's no horrible people in your family. But there's no interesting people either.
The most famous guy in your family was the fucking village idiot back in the 1700s.
He was a cheesemonger. He had a cheese shop. I don't know. Now that we're sitting here talking about, like, I'm going to go with Cornelius McCarthy was some kind of fucking criminal. I'm going to have to go to Ireland to find this out.
He sounds like it.
I'm going to have to go find out. I'm going to go to Ireland to find this out. Because there's a big fucking genealogy thing you can go to in Ireland. For a fucking small ass island, we fucking spread our seed far and wide.
Did he do something to the Blarney Stone?
Maybe. I mean, that's the McCarthy family. That's the castle for the family in Kent. So,
or I might just find fucking it's like, oh yeah, all your fucking family members were degenerates and fucking just criminals.
oh, they were the stereotype of Irish people being drunk and fighting. That came from your relatives. Everyone else was fine. I feel like awesome.
I still say you probably started the potato famine.
Like
Pretty much most of Ireland.
Dude, we're gonna go. I have to go there and find out.
Oh, it's like, yeah, your fucking grandpa or your great grandpa of one of your relatives was like some high ranking fucking Nazi officer that committed atrocities at concentration camps.
Okay, I don't know what I would do with myself if I found that out.
Yeah, it's sometimes you don't want to find out.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know that I can handle because I mean, like literally, I had a grandparent fighting against a relative. Holy shit!
It's just the fact of like, yeah, you know the Lusitania. Yeah, you fucking one of your relatives sunk it. He was the fucking U-boat captain. Was it the Lusitania?
Yeah.
That World War One.
Yep. No, was that no? That was two. Lusitania got sunk during World War II.
What was the one that got us into World War One?
Oh, what was that?
I think it was the Lusitania.
Yeah, maybe.
Was it the Queen?
Queen Mary?
Yeah. You're some riverboat captain that fucking got drunk.
Look, at least I know one of my relatives fought in the American Revolution
for the good side.
For the Americans. And he was a Native American at that. He's like, I'll hang with these white guys to kick the British guys out and then they'll take care of me.
Oh yeah. Hey, you look cold. Here's some fucking blankets. Wrap yourself around and your family and all the other people in your fucking tribe.
Nah, he sold out. I think he was okay. But the majority of his family is now white.
Or you can come down to like, yeah, you have a super rich fucking uncle in this other country that has a ton of land.
What was it, King Bob? With John Goodman?
No.
Was it King what? King Ralph.
King Ralph. Yeah, when 20 descendants of the crown all die
in a horrible accident
because they get electrocuted during taking a family photo on sitting in bleachers. And
look, we made that, right? They made that movie. How stupid and far-fetched that was, and then we made Designated Survivor.
Yeah,
which is basically the same premise. The fucking Secretary of Education's the fucking cabinet member that got picked to sit out this fucking State of the Union and doosh.
That didn't last. That was like one season.
It was a couple of seasons, and I think it got picked up by a streaming service for like the last season or two.
Oh.
Like it had an end.
It's like the was it The Manifest?
Yeah, Manifest got picked up and then
Netflix. Yeah,
ended.
Hey,
who was the killer who got caught by the DNA of their granddaughter?
It was like one of the most prolific killers. God damn it, I want to look this up. Like his daughter ended up getting DNA tested, and it turned out like the DNA was connected to a cold case in the 80s.
I remember it, but I have no idea who it is.
I thought it was like one of the big ones.
Yeah.
The executive producer's failing us. Somehow we got on to talking about DNA and ancestry. And we've come to the conclusion that because my McCarthy side ends abruptly, he was probably a criminal. Paul says he's the one that caused the potato famine.
It's the only reason why to fucking leave. Oh, you killed Loch Ness or something.
We did something horrible.
To the Scottish.
And he changed his name. That's why I can't find any other McCarthys. I mean, he clearly got.
The Golden State Killer. The Golden State Killer. He's I want to say he was a prolific from
He had a name, so
13 murders, 51 rapes, 120 burglaries from 74 to 86.
He's a busy boy.
Yeah.
It's a lot in 10 years.
He was 76 when he got caught. Because I knew he had a name. Like, I knew he had, like, they actually named him.
So I guess we could talk about now that we've gone on a DNA tirade, we can talk about the big thing we both watched. Chicken. We both watched She-Hulk. As I yell at the studio mascot. Talk about a TV show made for a big fuck you to the fucking internet. Show is great.
It was funny. That show, that season finale went places I was not expecting.
But here's the question now. Is it fourth wall breaks if she didn't actually come into
Literally,
our world? Because Kevin Feige's a real person.
well, technically she didn't come into our world. She went into our world because Assembled is just behind the scenes stuff.
But it's...
But what if that guy's just a fucking puppet that just...
That's true. Kevin Feige
He's
is
an actor.
actually an actor that portrays the human persona of the Kevin.
Yes.
So I guess, yeah.
She literally broke the fourth wall and went in.
That was a great... Like, if they'd have done it maybe a little bit better, like they could have made it look like your app kicked back to the menu screen.
I guess they did it before Werewolf at Night was...
Yeah, like if they could have done that, like make it look like it kicked over to your screen, your thing, like that would have been great. Like it looks like your fucking menu screen, but
I don't know. I never clicked on the Marvel section.
I mean, that's what it looks like.
That's what
I mean.
it looks like?
That's what they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just do the home, like the front homepage, but
Bird, you better not poop on that pillow. I'll kick your ass.
this episode was it's weird because it's just like this whole season of just like, I guess you could like, people do say like it's nothing happens this season. It's all like individual episodes.
But that's what a
There's
sitcom
no
is.
overalling.
Yeah, I mean, that's what a sitcom really is.
Yeah.
Because we thought the overarching thing was going to be intelligentsia and the blood, but again, she made a perfectly good point to fucking Kevin. Kind of just seems a little fucking superhero soldier serum to me.
It's also the fact of the a great opening where they just remade.
Yeah, and remember, like they showed
The
that like
70s fucking TV show.
before. Yeah, they showed that before the season even started too. Remember?
Did they?
They showed part of it. Like that was one of the commercials. Was like the '70s throwback.
Oh.
And she's sitting there standing with Bruce, and people were like, "Oh, it's so stupid. You won't like me when I'm angry."
It's just the whole fact that it was like shot for shot.
Yeah, like they
perfect.
completely redid that opening.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just like people on the internet complaining. I'm like, what do you want? Because you can't tell me what you want.
That's how you bring Deadpool into the mix. She breaks the fourth
Dude,
wall.
I'm telling you, whenever they're together, like they should both go to break the fourth wall together and then just look at each other. Like,
She breaks the fourth wall. Leaves She-Hulk.
dude, that would have been a
Accidentally-
great. Dude, that would have been a great way to fucking just drop the fucking cameo.
Yeah.
Like she does that, goes to Marvel Studios on the fucking Disney lot, and there's fucking Hugh Jackman and fucking. You don't even have him as Deadpool and fucking. That would have been a great way to fucking announce it.
People still would have been pissed.
It's just Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, like walking, and she makes some kind of reference as she's walking by, and then when you cut back to them, they're like holding a Deadpool 3 script.
Just say, I loved you, and don't mention X-Men. Don't mention Deadpool. Just name some
Random movie they were in. Yeah, he was in. I loved you in The Prestige, and oh no, look at fucking Ryan Reynolds and be like, either I loved you in Green Lantern, or
Oh, green's a good look on you, like because of the Green Lantern connection.
Yeah,
like looking at her.
Like slap him on the back and go, "What's up, Van Wilder?"
Yeah, you can do that. Two guys, a girl in a pizza shop. You really want to go? Oh, you go to fucking Degrassi?
Was he on Degrassi?
Fucking seemed like every Canadian person.
I think he was I don't think he was on it. He might have cameo. He might have had like some featured.
feature extra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, fucking Drake was on that goddamn show.
But yeah, like just make him like that. To me, I would have been like that would have been a great way to fucking announce it.
It's very like once again this episode was very funny. Like it made me laugh, especially the stuff with Kevin.
I think that's what really the season was building up to. It was because again, her fucking comics not all that integral to everything that happens.
She is super horny for fucking Daredevil. Jesus Christ.
Everybody's super horny for Daredevil. Like, that is a comic. Like, Daredevil slang some dick for being a fucking cripple. Like, he can't see, but he lands ass all the time. And then I've seen people say they hope that she's in fucking Born Again, because I kind of like the fucking Jen and Matt. Like, don't let him, like, he doesn't need to hook up with Karen or, you know, just have him in a relationship with another, and that's a way to bring fucking She-Hulk to New York with everybody else. That she fucking moves to New York.
I guess the only big thing out of this episode that has any ramifications in the Marvel universe, other than reintroducing Daredevil into this MCU, is that the Incredible Hulk has a fucking kid. Scar.
So either we're gonna see the single movie they're planning is
Planet Hulk.
Would be him leaving in this, going to Sakaar, having that big adventure, and then it ends with him coming back with the kid. Because you can't do it after this.
Because I know the kid...
It wouldn't make sense.
Because
the whole point would be him going to fucking calm the kid down.
I want to say the kid... Because after he leaves and buries his wife, the kid grows rapidly because of the soil or something, or because of his mother's alien DNA and stuff like that. Maybe that's...
Yeah, that's because he leaves and the kid grows, like, they don't even realize the kid's alive still.
Yeah.
And the kid grows up rapidly, and then he has to go back and fucking calm the kid. Like, he has to go back and, like, fucking deal with the kid.
I was really hoping to fucking World War Hulk.
Because when he attacks he attacks the planet because he blames
the Illuminati
for all of it.
Yeah, because there was a bomb in his spacecraft that I forgot what villain put it in
and
there.
that's what. So I mean, there's things that aren't gonna happen. Like, you're not gonna get that. There wasn't a bomb in that ship going because they came and got him. So what I am going to assume is they came and got him to come get the fucking kid under control.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like all flashbacks of like him first going there and becoming.
Yeah, you'll see what happened before Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. So that means the return of Jeff Goldblum.
Yes. And supposedly I heard there's going to be a time skip in fucking Wakanda Forever. So I'm assuming it's going to be like during the blip and then after everybody came back.
It's also the
we got the Wakanda Forever joke in She-Hulk. When he was like, this VFX team's already moved on to another project, and then you got the drums.
Oh. Fuck, what I was about to say.
That comes out relatively soon, too. That comes out next month.
Next month. A couple of weeks.
Got to figure out how I'm going to watch it. Probably just going to be like a very early showing.
I'm going to wait until it dies down and then fucking look up the
I
after
got
credit scene.
I got to see it first. I got to. There's just some movie. I'm like, oh, I'll figure it out. Go sit in the handicap spots.
Yeah, you get the.
I need to talk to my doctor about getting the placard for the car.
Yeah, you should. I was thinking about Hulk, Ragnarok. Fuck, I was gonna say something about Ragnarok, but I can't remember it now. But
And I just don't understand why people are complaining about the show other than, dude, the show makes perfect fucking fun of the people who are online making fun of shit. Like, who are online talking, like, shit. That's literally who the villains of this show were.
literally, this whole season's a parody of
Real life.
real life internet people.
Lady Thor, even if she wasn't female, I'd still have a problem. How? It'd be Thor. And I love how, like, we ended the last episode with the Carrie moment. Did you notice that? Like, it was a straight homage to Carrie. Like, the lights went red when she went nuts at the end. Like, before she breaks out the wall to outside, like, the lights go red, the fucking cameras.
The previous episode. Okay.
Yeah, like last week's episode at the award show. Like, they did the camera slide move, it was a straight up homage. Like we want to talk about earlier when I'm talking about wanting to shoot my Miami Vice homage. It was a straight up homage to fucking Carrie. But I mean, yeah, you're right. The villain of this season was the internet, and they're still complaining about it. But not a single one of these motherfuckers complaining can tell you what they want better. Not a single one. Because that's all that's literally all that makes money and gets attention on the internet now is like hating on shit.
Yeah, it's a culture of like tough guys that knowing they're never going to be able to say it to your face, but I can be a tough guy.
Oh yeah, it's you
thousands
can't,
of miles away.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like my issue with Angry Joe now. It's like when they started doing movies and shit on the regular, like you are not a critic at all. Like you have no background in anything to be able to distinguish what is good writing and bad writing. Because when there's great shit on television, like in something, you don't understand it, so you think it's bad. And these are the assholes that they got She-Hulk early. They got what was the other one that came out? They got like the first 4 fucking no, they got the Andor. They got the first 4 fucking episodes early. And they complain this is so slow. Because you don't have basic English comprehension. You don't have a background in anything that could make you able to critique something. But that's the most of the internet now. Like, I'm going to complain about something because I don't understand it. I have a fucking middle school reading fucking level. I don't get the depth. So it's bad. What?
All right. So, breaking news, I guess, again. There's a possibility there's going to be a Naked Gun reboot.
With who?
Liam Neeson playing Frank Drebin.
I could honestly see that.
But this is the weird thing. Playing his son.
Drebin was supposed to be pretty old when those movies happened.
It's
And
not
it makes it even funnier that Liam Neeson's an old man playing an old man's son.
So the people that did fucking Chip and Dale is doing this.
Oh, then it's going to be fucking hilarious.
They're going to co-write the script.
It's going to be fucking hilarious.
It's not official yet. And it's not official with Liam
Yeah.
Neeson, but apparently it's very close to being official.
It's going to be fucking hilarious. Oh, speaking of movies being made that I didn't know about until I got a casting call for it, Half Baked 2.
Yeah.
And it is with the original because I got a list. I got the email for they were looking for a stand-in for Hector.
So how are they going to explain fucking Dave Chappelle getting jacked from one movie to the other?
I mean, he's not jacked right now. I mean, he's
pretty big, still muscular.
It's still gonna. I think it's gonna still follow along a lot with his life because they were looking for an Asian stand-in woman, who's technically, I assume, gonna be playing
His wife.
His wife.
No, because he wanted to marry Mary Jane.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is, it's probably gonna be written more of somebody. It's probably gonna. It's some kind of way. It's gonna follow most of these comedies.
His actual life.
Yeah. He's probably gonna get at some point, whatever. I don't know. Fucking Half Baked's hilarious. This ought to be funny as hell too.
Just a dude looking in the mirror. It's like, you're not a fish. You're not. Stop it.
I mean, honestly, you do realize what this could be, right? It's called Half Baked 2, but it's gonna be like Dave Chappelle Show, the Chappelle Show, the movie. I could see it just being that. Like, God damn it, why does Charlie Murphy have to be dead?
Was he in Half Baked?
No, but he was in the Chappelle Show.
Oh, well.
And people from Half Baked were on the Chappelle Show. Hector was on there.
Yeah.
What's his face on Chappelle Show at any point?
I don't think so. The third friend.
Yeah.
God, what's his name? They try to make him a comedian, like giving him his own movies, and all of his movies tanked.
But I mean, he was a good stand-up.
Yeah. Jim Brewer.
Yes.
No, I'm talking about a different guy. The one who got sent to jail, not Jim Brewer, but the friend that accidentally killed a horse and got sent to jail.
Oh, yeah.
That dude.
Yeah, he's just been like a character actor and other stuff.
Yeah. Because they gave him some space movie where he's supposed to be an astronaut, but he's a fucking idiot. And it tanked at the box office.
Oh, yeah.
That was the last time they gave him his own movie.
Yeah, he couldn't lead. He couldn't carry anything.
Yeah. But also, he had a good stand-up. Because Snoop's in it, Chong is in it. Willie Nelson was in it. Unfortunately, Bob Saget can't be in it. I had to suck dick for crack.
Yeah, the
Have you
dude
ever
from
had
The
to
Real World was in it too.
Yeah.
The fucking like
Boo this man!
Boo this man!
You ever had to suck dick for marijuana? No.
No, I'd suck dick for crack.
God damn, Danny Turner.
Oh my god. It sucks that he's dead too, because he would have been great in a cameo in this. God, that makes me wish I could go be on this movie, because I guarantee you that set's gonna be hilarious.
You bring in John Stamos.
Yeah. Oh god, I guarantee that set's gonna be hilarious. It's shooting Baton Rouge, just like Iron Claw, the movie about. Well, it's either a movie or a series about the Von Erichs.
I think it's a movie.
That's shooting around here.
Starring Zac Efron.
I'm going to assume Interview with a Vampire Season 2 will shoot here. Depending on where they say
Does it get...
it goes.
Have they officially said they're going to have a
I
season
don't know.
2?
I don't know what they would be doing. They might call it something different, because the girl shows up. They do like the whole... I think this whole first season is that movie, which means it would be the book. So then whatever's next would not be called Interview with a Vampire.
When do we get to Antonio Banderas?
He played...
The Vampire Guild dude.
That
Like
would be...
the leader of the guild.
I mean, I think... So, Interview made reference to the Mayfair Witches, so I'm assuming, like, they said you're going to see, like, things pop up from the entire series of, like, all her books. So they may go, instead of calling it an Interview with a Vampire, or it might still just be called Interview with a Vampire, and Louis just still telling this dude, like, all of it. I don't know. I don't remember how the timeline in the books plays out. Because, I mean, you got Queen of the Damned, you got all of that. I mean, if this works, they can do all of them. Hopefully, the Mayfair Witches doesn't tank. I don't know if I'm all in on that lead actress.
And it's also Interview with the Vampire has a Game of Thrones connection.
Yes, it's the dude that played the eunuch warrior.
Grey Worm.
Yeah, Grey Worm is Louis. It's so like he is so good. Like that, I just can't like that show is really good.
If it's on AMC, I want to set my DVR to it. But if it's on AMC Plus,
You just got to log in. I'll just log into my Amazon.
I got Amazon.
Did you got to pay for Amazon Plus though? I mean AMC Plus though.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not. I pay like an extra $10.
even though I got it on my cable.
Maybe you could sit there and put in your cable provider. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, I'll check when I get home.
Because yeah, like third episode's up now. But I mean, it's really good. They fucking the last episode 2, they went to the opera. So Lestat's whole thing, because at some point in the 80s, Lestat becomes like a musician.
Yeah, that's when you get into the Queen of the Damned.
Yeah. So his whole thing, like Louis states, like his whole thing, his entire life is like there's been one thing that's held his humanity, and it's been music. Otherwise, he is just detached vampire. But like when it comes to music, it shows where his last remaining ties to humanity is. And they went to a play, an opera, and he was all entranced by the soprano, but then the fucking baritone comes out and he's like fucking missing notes and shit. Brings him back to the house and is teaching him how to do the play correctly. And then just kills him because he did not deserve to live because he could not fucking sing no song right. And he's like, I was in the man's apartment when he wrote this. You are a fucking disgrace. And he just fucking like nails him in the throat with his fingers, and they just fucking drink off him the rest of the fucking night.
Oh, speaking of which, Alan Moore has quit doing comic books and
Dude, I saw the thing like
has gone insane.
adults who are in the comp superheroes leads the fashion. I'm like, shut the fuck up, you old fuck up. I still love the medium of comic. No, you don't. Because if you honestly think that a person should stop reading a comic book at a certain age, then no, you don't love the medium of comic books.
Oh, speaking of which, another fucking segue. Movie news: Constantine 2 got announced.
I liked the
Keanu
first
Reeves.
one. I love the character of Constantine. I liked Keanu Reeves as Constantine, but you will not ever replace now Matt Ryan as John Constantine. Yeah. Like, it's just not going to happen.
Segue into unfortunate news with Keanu Reeves. He has officially pulled out of The Devil in the White City TV
yes,
show.
I did see that.
Which sucks, because that's like now you're going from Leo now to Keanu, and now you have to find somebody else to do this.
I think that movie works without a big name.
I think he probably could. I mean, Scorsese's a part of it. Like
you
because
just
originally this was a movie, and now it's going to be a TV show.
Yeah, I think it needs it because of what it is. It needs to be longer than a movie.
Yeah, I don't know how good the book is.
I mean, just in general, if you go base it off of reality.
How much does the book involve H.H. Holmes?
I mean, the whole thing should be about him.
Because I thought it was about the World's Fair, and it's just like him and like he's like a side thing. Like
no,
these murders are happening.
But I mean, I don't know if they look at it where you don't find out that it's him, or if they show it. I guess because I mean, the Devil in the White City is him.
Yeah.
Unless it's being told from the side of the people trying to investigate, and you don't ever you don't find out until the end.
It's kind of like,
which means he wasn't playing home like
not so much like From Hell, but it could be like, oh, there's this. The real plot is like the World's Fair and detective doing something with the World's Fair, but this little subplot in the background is like these people are getting disappearing and murders and.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go look and see because I mean the story in general of the Devil in the White City is way more interesting. The fact that people have linked him to being Jack the Ripper as well. So
well, that was his own fucking kin tried to do that because I watched that. A History Channel special
Oh yeah, because they, and
It was fucking awful.
well, no, but I mean, even before that, they were like the years that you couldn't account. Well, supposedly, you couldn't account for him here.
In the 1880s, he left America. The killing stopped here, but the same type of brutality started in England.
Yeah,
When Jack the Ripper happened, but then he left. When he came back to America, that's when Jack the Ripper stopped, and the murders started back up here, almost in the same vein. But also, there's a guy in New York who was a leather dude who apparently was Jack the Ripper also.
I mean, you can
Because Jack the Ripper stopped in England, but in New York, almost the same type of
they just didn't get as big a notoriety.
never got notoriety like Jack the Ripper did because prostitutes died a lot
Yeah.
in New York City.
Um,
What the fuck did they call them? The leatherworks people that makes like chairs and shit like that. I can't remember what they. But the History Channel was like his grandson or great grandson or something like that. No, his great grandson or great grandson was trying to prove that he didn't die at the gallows, that he fucking faked his own death, and also that he was Jack the Ripper. And it's like, we have to dig up the grave to make sure he's still there. Turns out, he's still there. And also the Jack the Ripper thing. But he did account for H.H. Holmes committed tons of insurance fraud.
Mm-hmm. That's how he paid for everything. He fucking scammed everybody.
He murdered a ton of people to collect their life insurance on.
Mm-hmm.
And then, there's a stretch in his early days of, just killing off his family members, cousins and aunts and stuff like that.
His, kids and, he's... That's what I'm saying. The story of H.H. Holmes would make a great TV series.
Yeah. If they didn't burn down the house immediately after they caught him, that would have been a
because I think the only thing left is an outline of where the foundation was, because the rest of it is a post office on top of the site.
Yes.
Now.
When I was in Chicago, I wanted to go to the location, but it was kind of far away, and I didn't have time to.
Yeah, because I mean, is there?
It's a post office.
Yeah, no, it's a post office, but I was trying to remember if they had a plaque or something.
I'm sure they probably do. It's next to. I don't know if it's a above ground subway rail cart right next to it, or just a bridge or something right next to it.
That's somebody should just go put up a memorial for all the Dahmer's victims at that apartment, what's left of it, because it's just an empty field or an empty lot now, still to this day. They tore the building down, but they didn't do anything that they said they were going to do with it, which was a big part of the last episode. They would push it, at some point they were pushing for a park and
the
Navy. All that.
Yeah, I seen that scene with the neighbor at the government place.
Yeah. It's been years. Why hasn't this been done? And she's like, "Oh, it takes time and red tape."
Everybody wants to forget. And
at the end of the episode, it says nothing. It's still nothing there. So, I guess in closing, She-Hulk's great.
Werewolf by Night.
Oh yes, that's right. Werewolf by Night. We did watch that.
1 hour special, Halloween special. Did a great job. Basically recreate the atmosphere of a 1930s Universal's horror film.
Fucking Man-Thing out of nowhere.
Man-Thing was great.
Out of nowhere. No, Man-Thing was not expecting that.
No, they announced them beforehand.
I didn't see any.
Okay.
I didn't even know it was out yet.
I didn't know it was out. I thought it was closer to Halloween.
Yeah, I put
at the beginning of October.
I put on the thing, and I'm like, holy shit, man! Werewolf by Night's out. And again, I'm kind of partial to, because those were the books that I found in the apartment. My parents found in the apartment when we moved into the square. Was all those I had they found a shit ton of comics they got left, and it was Werewolf by Night, Ghost Rider. It was all these old street level comic book characters. So that's like the first comic book characters I ever read were like Werewolf by Night, Blade.
Did you have the first Moon Knight? Because that was Werewolf by Night.
It might have been in there. Dude, I know I had like the first 3 X-Men comic books until Katrina. Like those were in there. Like I had this collection was it was like, you know, like the old entertainment center things where you lifted it up and the whole inside was basically a trunk.
Oh yeah, my grandma had one of those.
That's what they were in.
Jesus.
So I had a shit ton of comics, and there were all these old, it was all these old Marvel comics. There was no DC. It was like all a crap ton of Marvel comics.
That's awesome.
And Katrina, they were in my bedroom, still in that big ass thing, and dead.
Yeah. They it was shot all in black and white until like the last 5 minutes of the movie goes to color. But it was also pretty violent. Like people's limbs got chopped off and they show it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see blood.
You don't see red.
You don't see the red blood. You see blood. Blood splatter.
Just black.
Because blood splatters on the screen at one point.
Up against the lens.
When he transforms to the werewolf.
That's very 30s.
Yeah. And also the look of the werewolf reminds me of...
Yeah, that was never a full dog transformation werewolf. He was always kind of like the old school wolf man.
Yeah, it reminded me more of the Hammer style.
Yeah, that's what he was based on.
Of the
yeah, that's what he was based. Like he never transformed into like a full blown like ankles readjust, hunched over, big like.
Not American Werewolf in London.
Yeah, not American Werewolf in London werewolf, not Werewolf Cap. Because there's other werewolves in Marvel that do have the more wolf-like features. Yeah. He always transformed into like the wolf man.
Humanoid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was more of a Hammer style wolf man than anything. But then it just kind of opens up more door. Like even the dead dad with the animatronic of him coming back to life just to give that final message was pretty funny. And he looked just like Chris Elliott. You know who Chris Elliott is?
Yeah.
Kind of looked like him, like from Scary Movie 2.
Yeah.
When he was the butler with the stringy hair and stuff. But yeah, it was really good. And even the character that played the werewolf did a great job. The writing was great. Had hints of comedy with the.
The only thing that I think could have made it any better, which it would have completely taken over, because until he shows himself as the wolf, like it really does seem like this isn't about the werewolf. Like it does. It's more Elsa Bloodstone than him. I'm like, man, like we have a cheap knockoff Blade in this.
Because now that's a chaos. Like the artifact that they're all trying to win, the Bloodstone, is a chaos magic.
Yeah.
The same as Scarlet Witch but also it kind of pulled off like a more you can do towards the Dark Avengers.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like this is all it might not be. I mean, it may end up in theaters, but like a whole like an actual Midnight Suns. Not the game, but an actual like from the movies.
I can probably see that more.
Well, from the comics, not the game. Like the game is its own thing.
Yeah,
but like an actual version of the Midnight Suns with Ghost Rider and.
I can see that being like either mini series, like 5 episodes or 6 episodes or something like that.
Do a Defenders type deal.
Yeah.
The only thing is, you got Mahershala Ali fucking playing Blade. You know, are you gonna give him movies? Or are you gonna give him fucking?
I think he's more gonna be like a Whistler type fucking character, like more of a mentor.
I don't know. Like I hope he's like he's getting his own movie. Let's hope it's more of
him being a badass.
Yeah. Because I was supposedly Elsa Bloodstone's supposed to be in it. Like that was what people were fucking complaining about.
Because wasn't he in Eternals? off camera.
Yeah, that was him at the very end in the after credit scene.
Yeah.
So Midnight Suns should consist of like Black Knight, Werewolf by Night.
But Ali's one of those people that I don't think they're going to lock him down for a multi-pitcher deal. He might be in it for like 2 or 3 appearances and stuff because he's an actor. He does other things. He wants to do other things. Because, like, fuck, Luke Cage, he was only in it half of the first season, and then they kill him off. He was such a great fucking villain.
Yeah.
But that's a huge problem Marvel has is...
And because
they
it takes
kill
so
off their
much
fucking
time. Well, no, it
villains.
takes so much time between projects
Yeah.
that people are kind of like,
Because that was right
I
around...
want to move on.
That was right
wanna do
around the
other stuff.
time he did Green Book, I want to
Yep.
say. Was when Luke Cage came out.
Mm-hmm.
And then he instantly regretted it after all that stuff came out about the family.
Yep. I mean, they did a pretty good job in Marvel of casting people who weren't like at the top. They were kind of like on the up.
Yeah.
But it bit them in the ass because when they were in the Marvel movies, then they became they became tops. I mean, look at Chris Evans. He wasn't really, I mean, granted, he hasn't really done anything since Captain America. He's done some things, but I mean, he's got that Marvel money, that Disney money. Doesn't really need to do anything.
No. Fucking Helmsworth.
Did you watch the behind the scenes, the assembled for Thor, for Love and Thunder?
No.
He says he's never going to be able to get in the shape he was for Love and Thunder again. Like, he said it was too much.
Well, it's also the Hogan.
I don't know if they didn't make reference to that at all. He just said there's no way he can get that big again.
I thought he got that big because of the Hulk Hogan
I don't know.
Netflix thing.
They showed him like working out before. Like he is watching him on the screen does not do justice to watching him on the behind the scenes when he's around other people.
That size.
Or no, like you just see him like working out, or when he's around normal people.
Yeah, because that was another thing. Extraction 2 comes out, I think, the beginning of next year. Or at the end of this year.
He's done interviews or whatever, and he had to show. I'm like, all right, he's doing that because you can see he's got the shorter hair.
Yeah.
And all, and he's not like he's clear. But he said he put on like there was way too much weight that he had to put on. Like for Thor, like he'll never be able to get to that. Like it's just not feasible for him to get to that size again.
It's like Skarsgård and fucking the Norseman of just like he's like Finn Balor. It's like, is there any fucking fat on
like,
you?
you have any fat on you?
Is your fat like 0% fat? Because I seen the documentary about Finn back when he was Prince, right before he came to America for WWE, and they showed him at the gym. It's like 4 hours he's at the gym just every fucking day.
Dude, it takes fucking it takes a different kind of person to be able to fucking work out like that.
Yeah, to do it every single day, and then to watch what you eat and all that stuff.
It is. Oh my god, I can't fucking watch what I eat, and I'm a fucking diabetic, and it could kill me. And I'm like, there's just no way.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Not eat a fucking king cake during Mardi Gras? Jesus Christ,
I know.
it's sacrilegious.
Oh my god, speaking of food from here, and this has nothing to do with anything. She saw a list she sent it to me of like the top foods in like food cities or whatever, the cities with the best food. New Orleans was like in the 40s. I'm like,
I thought that was like the one thing we're known for.
and then I sat there and I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? There are no local restaurants really anymore.
No.
It's all people from out of town that come in and open New Orleans style restaurants, and all food is tourist safe. I'm like, that's why.
I work at a restaurant, and we had a girl come in. Not from here, was from up north. Ate the gumbo, I think it was, and complained about the gumbo doesn't taste right, and it was disgusting and all this other stuff because of the seasoning in it. She doesn't know Louisiana style seasoning because she's from up north, and she just kept complaining. She still ate it, the gumbo, And I thought it was like very funny. Just like, how are you complaining about our food? And the spices and the seasoning,
you come
and
from
also
a place where they don't put anything in anything.
your seasoning is salt,
You cook
salt and pepper.
You cook your shellfish in butter. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all you do. Is you put shellfish in butter. It's so weird. I just thought that, I'll throw that in to close us out. Because it kind of hurt me when I saw that. Because I'm like, I'm not the greatest cook. But I was taught by a little old Italian lady how to cook. And I'm pretty good.
Yeah, it's it's just the tourist people that come down. It's not used to the seasoning and stuff like that. So you gotta have those. Because I heard, I was talking to one of the food reps for the restaurant today, and he was telling me him and his wife went to Kingfish on Conti in the French Quarter, and apparently they got bought out because it was a local thing. Got bought out by a bigger chain restaurant.
Yup, that's what's happening to all of them.
And now apparently, like he said, it was like, man, this is just like fucking the food was just as bad as a fucking Applebee's.
Yeah,
it was
it's
like
all changed. Like, yeah.
a New Orleans style Applebee's.
And even when you go, even when you go to like an Applebee's, it depends on who's in the back cooking. Like the one on Vets by Barnes and Noble,
Yeah.
I've never had an issue. Like food's always good.
Fuck that place. I had a steak there one day.
I don't go get. You don't fucking get.
I know.
You don't get steak at Applebee's.
I was young.
Because I used to like when I was in the car club back in the day. We used to go over there on Sundays to eat.
I know.
I would get steak, and I would be pissed because I'm like, I want medium, and the shit would come out, and I'm like, no, how hard is this? But no, you go over there, you get a burger, you get some
I'm pretty sure
pub food.
Outback was probably fucking packed. So I went to Applebee's
yeah.
because nobody goes to a fucking Applebee's.
Not for just straight steak, no.
And then I got the steak. I was like, man, I'm going to try the steak. That steak was like as thin as a fucking hamburger patty.
Yeah, they're
And it was
not-
disgusting.
They're not good for their steak. But again, it just depends on because I've gone to that Applebee's for fucking decades at this point. Because I mean, I was going out there racing on the lakefront in my early 20s, so it's been 20 years since I've been going to that Applebee's.
Oh, back in the day, we used to go to the movies every fucking weekend.
Over the what? No.
Every Friday or Saturday, we would go to the 20
Oh yeah, and then go to the fucking yeah.
and then go to Vets. We somehow ended up at Barnes & Noble. I'll buy way overpriced fucking DVDs. Jesus Christ, the mock-up they do over there. They still do it.
Yep. The dying medium. Well, I mean, everything in there is a dying medium.
Yeah. But this is way before all this. This is back when DVDs was the thing. And we would go to the Applebee's because it's right there to eat.
Yeah, we would go over there. We'd have like that side room that you had to go up to get into. We would have that whole section to ourselves because there'd be like 20 of us there getting ready, going out to the lakefront to go race.
I don't know what's worse. You're probably going to disagree with me. Hooters or Applebee's?
Hooters.
Yeah. I couldn't tell
The
you.
only thing I've ever, the couple of times I've ever been to Hooters, I always just got like the fucking shrimp. Like, I'm like, no, I'm good.
Hooters, when I worked on Bourbon Street, whenever we had a meeting or anything like that, and it was during the day for lunch, we would always end up at that fucking Hooters on Decatur. It's not there anymore.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, it's not there. Like, yeah, it was one back. It was back in the day.
Fucking disgusting ass food. Shitty fucking
I
waitresses.
mean, it's literally, the Hooters is there to get you, like, they don't care what food they're selling you.
No, it's just, it's what fucking Twin Peaks? Is that
Yeah.
what it's called?
Yep.
Peak, Twin Peaks?
Twin Peaks.
It's basically what they doing now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's weird. Like, the Hooters on Vets does a shit ton of business. But I think that's more has to do with the fact that all the TVs and shit that are in there. Like, you go in there, fucking just get game food and watch fucking whatever you want.
When I lived in Pittsburgh, when I was going to college out there after high school, the first time I've ever ate or stepped foot in a Hooters was there. and I had this server because I went to this antique shop and I bought these. They had old baseball cards still in the pack, so I bought the pack of cards and stuff. And this fucking waitress comes over, overly fucking bubbly type, fucking fake ass waitress. I guess I think it was slow at the time because she kind of hung out at my table to try to chit chat with me.
Because there was nobody else there.
There was nobody else there. And I had the cards in the bag and she's like, "Oh, what's in the bag?" And grabs my bag, looks in the bag, pulls out the baseball cards. And it's like, "Oh, wow, baseball cards. My brother collects these." And so it's like trying to make chit chat, trying to like relate to you.
Bump that tip up.
Uh-huh. Extra leaning on the table in front of me, you know? And at the time, like, I was like, can I just get my food? I want to eat. I don't know. And, yeah, and she wrote on the fucking, "You were such a great guest," or something like that, and had her name with the fucking hearts around it and all sort of stuff. So I don't know if she was flirting or
Just trying to get that tip.
getting that tip. That's probably most likely. Because I don't think it was busy at the time, if I remember correctly. The antique shop was a fucking train. It was a decommissioned train from like the
The train car.
all the train cars and stuff. They also had the locomotive in the front. You go in, and each car was like a different section of antiques. It was kind of cool. And then there was a fucking Hooters right next to it.
Gentrification, man.
Yeah.
All right. Think that we can wrap up. I'd kind of like to eat before midnight again this week.
Yeah.
All right. So until next week, I'm Wayne. That was
Paul.
and we will see you later.